for visiting the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified of future videos. Well, hey everybody. Decided to take you with me on my walk up to the barn / studio. You're willing to bet Dan's got the door blocked with the amp. He's already up here. Hey Dan. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Anyway, this is the barn / studio, and that's what everything looks like. I'm sure y'all wanted to know. Later.
Hey folks, Dan Ryan again. For this episode, we are looking at one of my personal guitars. This is obviously a Peerless guitar. It came with this really good hard shell case. I've gigged with it quite a bit, so it's a little bit beaten up around the edges, just from moving it in and out of the car and packing and unpacking. But in terms of being usable as a case, it still works just as well as it ever did. And there's a little bit of a story behind this guitar, which I'll tell in a minute. But first, I think you probably just want to see it. And there it is. It's the Peerless Gigmaster Jazz guitar, and just a gorgeous instrument, all blonde. Every single part, back, sides, top is flamed, and just a lovely, lovely thing. It's got the jazz tailpiece, but it does have a tune-o-matic bridge, which is kind of nice. 2 tones, 2 volumes, pick guard. Pick guards always sound a little flimsy when you kind of tap on them. I'm not sure why, but I guess because they have to float. So anyway, the story behind this guitar is a few years ago, I decided I wanted to have a jazz archtop guitar. Never played one in 50 years or so, and the more I heard of really good players, the more I liked the way they sounded. So one day we're in a very small local guitar shop here called Guitar Techs, and they happen to have a Yamaha jazz archtop, and I played it, and it played really nice, and I liked the way it sounded, and asked the owner how much for it, and I bought the guitar. Might have paid a little bit too much for it, I'm not sure, but it was a very nice guitar. And so that started my interest in jazz archtops. So the next jazz archtop I bought cost $3,000. It's a Sadowski Jimmy Bruno model, and if you know anything about luthiers and handmade guitars, you know that's a very nice guitar. And I played it on exactly 2 gigs and I got so paranoid about having it out of the case, and the place I was playing was kind of a high traffic area in a restaurant, and continually afraid somebody's going to knock it off the stand or, you know, do something to my beautiful guitar. So after that, I went and got an Eastman guitar that cost about $1,000, but it was pretty much the exact same layout as the Sadowski. Had an ebony fingerboard, and you know, everything was about the same. Although I think the Sadowski had a 14-inch bout and the Eastman has a 15-inch bout. After a while, I started getting paranoid about the Eastman. So I went and found this guitar on Reverb, and it was in a shop in Paris, France. It was essentially brand new. I mean, still looks brand new, except for the case. And it was about $600. So I ordered it and waited for a month or so for it to come into the country. And in terms of jazz arch tops, this is the one I use the most for gigs. If you see the video from, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I guess, where I'm playing in a restaurant and I'm playing the Firefly, if you look in the background, you'll see this guitar hanging on the guitar stand, because this guitar is the one I mainly use if I want a jazz arch top. So it's, you know, a beautiful guitar. Obviously, I approve of it because I bought it and I've been using it. And I like it. Peerless and Eastman are actually Chinese companies, and they're two of the best kind of mass-produced luthier companies, guitar companies in China. And I don't know if you see all the detail, but the binding, everything is beautiful about this guitar. And one of the nice things is the pickups. Chinese guitars can, their pickups can be iffy, but the pickups on this one are just fine. For the most part, people who want to play a jazz arch top, a lot of times they won't have a second pickup. They're just going to have a neck pickup because that's the only sound they want. And so there's, you know, one tone and one volume, and that's it. Like I said, Peerless and Eastman are two of the better Chinese quasi-luthier-made guitars, and you can pay quite a bit for either one of those guitars, but when you do pay it, you're going to get a whole lot of guitar for your money, because the detail, everything is just, you know, beautifully made. I don't know if you can see the headstock here, but you know, everything about this guitar is just, you know, I mean, if you said it was a Gibson or a Heritage or, you know, some other kind of higher end factory-made kind of Gibson knockoff, which most jazz arch tops are. The Gibsons are kind of the be-all and end-all of that category of guitars. You know, you wouldn't say, well, that's a cheap guitar, you know, because it is just a beautifully made instrument. The only thing you might worry about over time, and I say might, I mean, I haven't so far, but might be the electronics. But a lot of people who buy jazz arch tops, they'll look around for the pickups that give them the sound that they want to hear anyway. Doesn't really matter how good the pickups are, it's just, you know, they want the sound that they want.
This looks like Grover tuners.
Yes, I believe so. I can't, can you read the back of it? I can't, it's so much glare, I can't see it.
A little further. Yeah, they're Grovers, and they have some very unique tuning pegs.
Careful with the
Yeah.
banging against the. So yeah, it's just a beautifully made guitar. Everything is just top notch on it.
Is that a rosewood bridge?
Yes, I believe so. And I believe this is a rosewood too. Generally, arch tops have a floating bridge. So one of the things you got to be careful about when you change strings is you got to mark the position of the bridge so that if it changes position, you can put it back to exactly where it was. You can just use that blue painter's tape if you want to do that. Or some people, they'll just take off one string and replace that one string, so there's always tension on the bridge so the bridge doesn't slide. Those are a couple of methods of changing strings.
You have something hanging off your finger on your right hand.
Oh, I don't know what that is. So anyway, it's a very
Maybe it was a boogie.
could be. Nice inlay on the neck, but nothing fancy. But for a $600 guitar, this is this. I know we generally talk about guitars between $100 and $200 here, but believe me, $600 for a guitar of this quality is a really good deal. Which is why I'm not afraid to take it out and gig with it. So apparently $1,000 is my cutoff point, but $600 or $700 I'm okay. So having said all that, we are going to stop now for a minute and tune it, and kind of just take you through the pickups and all the regular stuff we do, and then we're going to play a tune. So we'll be back in a minute. See you then. Thanks. Hey folks, Dan Ryan again. Today we're looking at my Peerless Gigmaster Jazz jazz archtop guitar. We've already kind of looked at its construction, and it's a lovely guitar, obviously. So now we're just going to kind of look at the sounds. And so here's just the neck pickup, which is when I play it. That's generally what I'm doing, but we'll go through all the sounds. Everything's wide open as always. I don't know if you can beautiful balance, the bass notes. A on the E string comes. It's almost like having a bass. So, and here is both pickups. A little bit brighter, but still beautifully balanced between the bass and treble. And here is the bridge pickup. Now that starts to get a little, but still nice and clean and chimey. distinct difference between each of the settings, but they all sound nice and clean, and just very balanced, and basically what you want out of this kind of guitar. When I bought it, I thought I was going to have to change the pickups, but I like these so much. I didn't see any reason to do it. Why, you know, I knew these sounded good. So, all right, there you have it. That's what it sounds like by itself. Oh, one thing Leo asked me last time. These are the kind of guitars where you can kind of see what they sound like without an amp. So I've turned. So it has a considerable amount of volume, even unamplified. But that's because it is a hollow body guitar. There's no block in the middle, carved top, so you get a lot of vibration off the top itself. So just, you know, as an aside, because Leon asked last time about I think what that burled Firefly sounded like by itself, which it's a semi-hollow, and you know, those don't sound appreciably different than a solid body a lot of times. So anyway, we're going to stop now, tune up one more time, and come back and play something for you. And we'll see you then. Thanks. Hey folks, Dan Ryan again. Today we're looking at my Peerless Gigmaster Jazz guitar. That's one of my personal guitars that I use. You know, with COVID and everything, I haven't been playing as have many people as much as I used to. So I used to use this several times a month to do my solo smooth jazz gigs. But those are few and far between anymore. But as Leo can attest, after months and months in the case, took it out and it was pretty much in tune.
I can.
Yeah. So it's just a lovely guitar. I really enjoy playing it. And one of the musicians that got me interested in playing this kind of guitar is a gentleman named Chuck Loeb, and if you don't know about him, you might want to look him up. L-O-E-B is his last name. He was the guitar player for Foreplay for quite a while. He died way too young of cancer just a year or two back. He was only in his 50s, but just a great kind of generalist guitarist. I mean, whatever you needed to play, he could play it. From rock to blues to, you know, jazz, didn't matter. Just a great guitarist. And this is a song of his. Hope I do it justice. It's called Pocket Change. So here we go. folks. That was a song called Pocket Change by Chuck Loeb, one of my favorite guitarists in the world. And this is my Peerless Gigmaster Jazz jazz hollow body archtop guitar. And we've already gone through all the pickups, and you heard me play something. So just wanted to thank you for tuning in, and ask you that you like and subscribe if you want to, and click the bell icon if you want to be informed of our future videos. I'm Dan Ryan. That's Leo Ryan behind the camera. And thanks for tuning in again, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.